Hi guys, welcome to another training. Today is tutorial Learn with Vidas, and today I'd like to teach you a special tutorial how to improvise a chant and to do it in various modes. This tutorial was requested by Don, who is our Total Organist community member, and hopefully you will all enjoy it. I guess I've been improvising in this style for a while and doing live streams and various other videos based on the regular chant tunes, Gregorian chant tunes, but Don wanted to know how to make up a tune which sounds like Gregorian chant or any other chant, and then use various modes for it. Okay, that's the purpose for today. And in the live chat we have Don, Float and Bass, Paulus, and Sean so far. Hello, hello, hello. Everyone else who will join later, say hi in the live chat as well. Excellent. So I don't think we will need the screen today because it's all improvised. But I will demonstrate for you and explain as we go. What makes up a chant, right? If we are to create a melody based on chant, so what do we have to keep in mind? Any kind of melody would sound like chant? Probably not, right? Let me show you the keyboard, and maybe not even the keyboard, but let's do a registration first. Where the clarinet, for example, with the flute cheminée, right? And then on Resi I could use strings and cordenui, and maybe with mod. All right, like this. Like this, probably 16 and 8. So imagine if we have a chant, what would it sound like, right? Everyone knows a chant, for example, Ave Maria. The melody is based on a regular chant, Ave Maria. What I'm doing here is basically I'm using the notes of this mode. We could call it Aeolian mode. It sounds like D minor mode. But the main thing is that the rhythm here is free. There is no very strict Ave Maria, like quarter notes and eighth notes and triplets and maybe dotted quarter notes. There is no such thing. Like I would play it for you right here. Which sounds actually quite nice, even in this rhythm, right? Exact specified rhythms, quarter notes, eighth notes, dotted, notes, even with meter. But in reality, what makes up chant rhythm is sort of fluctuating duplets and triplets, depending on how the text syllables converge, right? Depending on the text. Ave Maria. So sometimes 3 notes per syllable, or sometimes 2. So then you adjust duplets and triplets accordingly. But again, it could be quite strict too. So what makes up a chant is actually to use the chant modes. So we could start actually exploring those modes, and we will be basing our improvisations on the natural scale of C. What happens if you have all the 7 notes of C major scale? This is Ionian mode. What's different from tonic and dominant and Ionian and major minor tonality in C is that in C major there is a very strict relationship between tonic and dominant, tonic and subdominant. And in the mode like this, Ionian, there is no strong relationship between tonic and dominant. There is no term like dominant here. More or less all the chords are and scale degrees are equal, with some exceptions. And but it still sounds like major mode. So let's create a tune based on this mode. After this, we do from D all white notes, from E, from F, from G, from A, and finally from B. Right? 7 notes, 7 diatonic modes. Right? And of course, that could be extended to 5 pentatonic modes. Like this. That could be extended, but maybe it's for another time. Our main goal is from C, Ionian. Okay. So let's use a chant-like melody, which would incorporate some stepwise motion, some skips of the third, and some leaps of a fifth or a fourth, back and forth, up and down. More than a fifth, it's not usual for Gregorian chant, right? And we start at the same note as we finish. If we start on C, we finish on C. Okay. The left hand part could do accompaniment in stepwise motion, either in root position chords, first inversion chords, second inversion chords, it could even have 4 note chords like this. But it's perhaps more advanced than you currently need. So let's keep it very simple. Yeah, the 3 note chords. And by the way, it could, instead of the third, it could have a fourth. or a second. Instead of a fifth, it could have a fourth too, like this. All beautiful sounds work well in this mode because the notes are all related in Ionian C. What happens with the pedals is simply we use either C or G, first or the fifth scale degree. Sometimes we could use E or A or F, any note of the mode, but finish on C and start with C, okay? And of course, move pedals very slowly, like maybe once per 2 measures or so, yeah. And left hand part will move a little faster, but the right hand move, chant-like melody would move even faster, more fluently, okay? So let's do this. An example of the chant in C, Ionian mode. Okay, it's like a cantabile a little bit, but based on a chant-like movement of the right hand part in the mode of C. Now let's switch registration, and instead of the clarinet, let's do Monter Salitional and Flute of Chaminade for the melody. Okay, and we can improvise on the mode of D. It's called Dorian mode. It's like D minor, but with raised 6th scale degree without the B flat, no B flat. Okay, so let's try. What about the mode of E? E sounds like with a different registration. Maybe, let's do basson. Basson au bois. Okay. E sounds like E minor but without F sharp, so second scale degree is lowered like this. So let's try. Oh, and it has its own name. From C was Ionian, from D was Dorian, and from E is Phrygian mode. Sorrowful mode, yes. If C, the mode of C, Ionian was rather joyful, D was rather firm, a little bit more optimistic than minor mode, natural minor. So Phrygian is rather sorrowful, okay, because it's more sorrowful than the minor, natural minor. Okay, the mode of F. The mode of F would be like this. The mode of F. It's called Lydian, and it derives to us similar to F major, so like natural major, but with a raised fourth scale degree. Of course, major and minor tonalities are newer, younger than older modes, so it was the other way around. First came the modes and then later major minor system. But for us today, major minor is more familiar, and therefore we make comparisons between major and minor versus modes, right? Okay, so let's do from the mode of F, Lydian. Okay, from F sounds more joyful than natural major because a fourth scale degree is raised, not flattened, but raised. From the mode of G, from the sound of G, right? Let's do perhaps cornea. Where is our cornea? Yeah. Maybe this way. Is this registration? So if we look at the chant, it's mixolydian. Like major, natural major, but with seventh flattened degree. No F sharp, right? But first scale degree and last scale degree is G, ending and starting on the G. So it's called mixolydian. Let's do it. And from the note A, we could have maybe trumpet. We don't have a trumpet. Let's do trumpet, but on the solo. Like this. Oh, that would be nice. All right. So from the note A, we have a mode called Aeolian. It looks and sounds like natural minor mode. No other differences. Here we go. And the final mode is from the note B. It's called Locrian. Locrian, let's do everything on one manual, Grand Org, with this sound, right? Except let's okay, even basson. With some foundations and reeds. No C sharp. And so what we have here, it's a little louder than like this. So from the note B, we have Locrian mode, and this is particularly sorrowful mode because it is twice flatter than B minor, no F sharp and no C sharp. So second lower scale degree and fifth lower scale degree as well. It even doesn't have perfect fifth sound. It doesn't have minor root position chord. So it has instead diminished. So very unstable mode, yeah? In many schools it is not even taught as a theory. In music theory, it's sort of skipped because it's not easy to sing, so it was skipped in our school where we taught with OSHA. And but we have to know it because it's part of the modal system as well. It's just very different from the others. Let's do it. So guys, you heard a short demonstration and a little bit of teaching on how to create chant-like melodies in various diatonic modes. From C Ionian, from D Dorian, from E Phrygian, from F Lydian, from G Mixolydian, from A Aeolian, and from B Locrian. Locrian mode was the last one. Right, and the character of the mode, it could be different. Locrian could be very sorrowful and quiet, right? I just took much freedom here. I think the most joyful and optimistic is Lydian, because it's sharper than natural major, right? So perhaps it could be the loudest, or I don't know. But also Dorian is also very firm and firmer than natural major. So you could experiment with various registrations also, and various textures. Not only playing one melody in solo voice, but playing chords and even improvising a short toccata-like figurations, like I did at the end, right? So hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial, and you can spend the week practicing improvising short fragments in each mode. But remember, what I did here, I always shaped the melody in the form of a chant with the space to breathe. That's the main thing for the chant. It always has places and caesuras, right? Caesuras, where you can take a breath. And in that space, you can play something else on the accompanying manual, or you can actually just stay still and let it sound and let it rest and take another breath and continue afterwards. But remember to breathe. Make your melodies punctuated like a text, like a sentences, like a paragraph, and after the paragraph you naturally make a stop, think, and play something else afterwards. And that's how we structure a musical composition. And remember always to come back to one or two ideas to make a shape of an arc after some new material has been played, right? Don't always play everything new, because if you play everything new, after a while it's all mixed up, it's all rather random. But if you come back to the original theme which you played at the beginning or after an introduction, right, then your listeners will remember this theme or a similar version of the theme if you can't even remember yourself. You don't have to play it literally note by note, but similar sound, similar motive, similar phrase, similar shape or rhythm, then your listeners will also appreciate it. The shape of arc, yes, like old material, new material, and old again. You have ABA form, and that's the best recognizable form there is, actually. So keep practicing like this. All right, and of course, thank you, Don, for this request. Thank you so much for your support earlier, for your virtual coffee. Appreciate everyone who supports me and Osha during the week. And really, we keep trying to delight you over the week, and tutorials and live streams like this are part of our modus operandi. Yes. So thank you so much. If you can help out in any way you can. The ways to do it, of course, and contribute is in the description of this video. PayPal donations, memberships, buy me a coffee memberships, channel memberships, even right here in the live chat you can you can buy me some super chat. Yes, your messages would be highlighted for some time. Yeah. And before we end, let's check who are our top fans today. Nils is number 1, Don is number 2, Sean number 3, Rin number 4, and Paulus Floten bass is number 5. Thank you guys, everyone who participated in live. It's been a joy to do it today. And after this tutorial, I'll go to another stream and teach Total Organist community members part 10 of our trio sonata training. So this is for Dawn and any others who will join me later. Thank you. And remember, when you practice, miracles happen.